what's going on, family? I know you haven't heard from me in a long time, but I'll tell you, I've been thinking about you. I've been going through a lot of changes here. I was out walking my dog, out in nature and everything. And guess what? You'll never believe what happened. I'm laid up here with a broken knee. It wasn't the salt, the oil, the sugar, or I didn't eat meat or nothing like that or anything like that. But what got me in the hospital is my dog. Really, it's my fault. It wasn't the dog. The dog just being a dog. Okay, so here I am. And I've said I'm thankful for regular hospitals. They do play a role. I was treated very nicely and, considering. Yeah, they got me here in this little splint for 6 weeks. I'm taking my natural herbs like comfrey, because it's a knit bone, that's the old name for it, and also a comfrey salve, because I did fall another time and smashed my wrist here. You can see it's kind of swollen, but yeah, everything is fine. But now I'm doing great. But that just goes to show you, you can do all the right things, eat the diet, the fruitarian diet mostly, and exercise. Oh, and walk your dog. Oh God, that's a bad pose. Walk your dog and still end up in the hospital. Okay, but anyways, the great dark mother sent me an angel who picked me up and off the floor. A handsome young man. No, I'm not interested. But and then a handsome young black man who saved me, which I'm so grateful for. Bless him, and bless his children and his wife and his family. Okay, I went to the hospital, and they took care of me. Of course, I had to wait in the waiting room a long time. You know how it is when black people go to the hospital. Buyer beware. But anyhow, everything is great. We still need our allopathic doctors, regular doctors, for especially certain things like you have an operation or accident, break a bone. Yes, we need them. But in the meantime, like I said, we're going to be fruitarian and eat our healthy foods, right? Okay, that's enough about me today, but I'm glad to be back here with you. Just want to keep you posted on what's going on. This thing, current events about Kanye West talking about Black Lives Matter. White Lives Matter. I think it's basically a publicity stunt, and probably he wants to stay in touch and always get the attention of everybody for his brand. And he's now a member, or trying to be a member, of the bourgeoisie class. The bourgeoisie class is the class of people of the 1% that own everything. They own the means of production, the land, the factories, the distribution channels, the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. They're part of the state, the ruling state of the invaders that came in and, genocide the people, enslave the people, and then the surplus profit went to the settler welfare bucket. So yeah, white lives have always mattered since the beginning of the existence of this new world, new world discovery, Christopher Columbus discovery. So their lives have always mattered. You know what I'm saying? Melanated people, dark-skinned people, people of African descent, Aboriginal black people, have always died in mass numbers have been the cannon fodder to supply the colonial capitalist society, the foundation of all their wealth, because they had us in captivity where we was going to run, to always work for free to build up their little capitalist, big, massive empire. So that's like an oxymoron, white lives matter. Yeah, really? Okay, we know that. We already know that. What we're trying to say is that the life of people dominating, people like that are classified as white lives, they dominate and classify themselves as white, and they dominate people who they classify as non-white, and do a lot of horrible things. Oh God, look at this. This is really terrible. Horrible things to people who they consider not white. They mistreat us and make up a lot of propaganda, publicity, and deception to keep us confused and have a low self-esteem, low concept of ourselves, plus all the violence they administer in various ways. Overt violence, covert violence, 24/7, 365. So I think Kanye is a part of this. He wants to be on the scene. He wants to let everybody know, him and Candace Owens, the sellouts. They want to know, tell everybody, all black people, they say they're concerned about, which they're not. They're concerned about being a part of the bourgeoisie ruling class, and they want to be a part of that. They want their white card, and they know in order to get and keep their white card, they're going to have to do certain things, which is always anti-black, against black people, to keep them in the limelight, which I get it. I understand everybody can be bought and sold, and they're being bought and sold off. Just throw money on them, they will sell their mama, and there's not a problem. Okay, and I know a lot of people say that Kanye is a genius. I don't, maybe musically he's a genius. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't say he's a genius, but he did acquire $1 billion, and people think that because people can amass $1 billion that they're smart. But you look at the foundation of this country and all the billionaires in it, how did they get it? Through looting, murder, monopoly. So if you call that genius, well, okay, that's what you consider as genius. That's your perspective. That's not my perspective. Of course, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. And I'm not trying to slight anybody, because I know everybody has feelings and they're so sensitive. But this is just my interpretation. But as moving on, this is how the deal works. Now, speaking of profits, I do believe that the big capitalist corporations have put profit over humans and non-humans alike, and the biodiversity and the planet itself. All they care about is profit. They don't care who they hurt. So as we know now that the planet is 1.2 degrees higher Celsius warmer since the Industrial Revolution. And we know how the Industrial Revolution was started by all the surplus money they got from free labor from my ancestors, working them to death from sun up to sundown, raping and killing and murdering babies, and killing men and women and children, and starving us and everything else, so they can have a nice cozy time to invest in the cloth industry in London and England, which we know cloth and the mills and everything up in the northeast Boston is all from the cotton, the free cotton. Cotton played a big role in the wealth of these Western modern nations who call themselves civilized, and telling us that we should be like them and we should strive to be like them, when we know they got all their wealth from genocide, land theft, looting, monopoly. Okay, now if you call that genius, that's genius. You know, it's all in how you interpret it. But in my interpretation, I think that's very barbaric, very uncivilized, very unspiritual, because that tells you that that person don't have a soul. They're not connected to the nature, excuse me, Mother Nature, Netaru, the forces of nature, and the infinite great goddess of the darkness of the black sky, and the atmosphere above and around and below us, dark energy, dark matter, the great black mama, who I do give praise and honor to. Thank her, because she has lifted me up. She saved my life. When I broke my knee, she sent an angel there, somebody I didn't even know, to help me. Help me. I'm serious. Help me. And now my relatives are taking good care of me. I'm here. But anyways, getting back to the subject. Now, as far as the temperature warming up, if it goes up to 2.0 degrees, the planet is uninhabitable. Right now, it's 1.5. If it warms up to 2.0, the planet is uninhabitable. Oh, yeah, excuse me. I'm sorry, right now it's 1.2. 2.0 is uninhabitable. 1.5 degrees, it'll make it unbearable for the developing nations. Like you see what happened, I think it was India, Pakistan, the last flood, you know, just massive floods in Africa and all the non-white countries who don't even contribute to all this global warming. All the global warming comes from the Western white nations, you know, like United States, Canada, Australia, the civilized, you know, people with a high IQ, you know, the superior races, you know, they're the ones that's causing all this climate crisis because they have, you know, they put profit over people, domination of people who classify themselves as white over non-white people, like black people and other peoples. Okay, their domination over us through slavery and spreads over to the domination of nature. That's why you cut down trees, like we went over my past videos. It's like you know, like the domino effect. Because they dominated and enslaved us and treated us like dirt and dog and non-human slaves, death to society, zombies, because they get off on it, right? That transfers over into nature. And that's why, you know, the forests are disappearing. The earth is warming up. You got factory farming. That's where all your most of your pollution comes from. You know that people are on this thing about, you know, plastic, pick your plastic, blah, 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 blah. That's all micro stuff. That's micro because the massive pollution of the air and water comes from factory farming, number one. Number two is, I think it's fossil fuel. And then right on down to, you know, plastics out there too. Now, the climate crisis affects the African, Aboriginal, indigenous people of the planet worse than anybody else. It affects us all, but they get it first. But they don't put as much, they don't contribute to that because they don't have all those resources because the Western world, the United States, and the partners in crime go and steal the resources from Africa because of puppet leaders. You know, they don't think they can make it on their own. They get paid off pennies, you know, to sell out their people. Just like, you know, you got Candace Owens and your Kanye, they sell us out. You got people in Africa do the same thing, and in different parts, the global south, north. You always got the people that'll sell you out for a nickel or for a dime and sell their mama. They don't care. Just throw them some money. They don't care. But anyways, it's for greed. The capitalists, greed, profit over people, over the planet, you know, money. Like how far are you going to spend money when the planet is all messed up? But they don't think that far, but they're real intelligent. They tell us they're intelligent, right? And they're so smart, and they're so high IQ, and they're so racially superior, but they're killing the planet. How are you going to be racially superior and you're killing the planet? Where are you going to stay? Oh, I guess you're going to take your money and go to the moon or Mars or some planet that's going to solve it? That sounds really smart. Oh, wow, yeah, okay. Well, we know what they're going to do up there if they get a chance to get up there. And if there's any intelligent life up there, they will stop you from coming. And if you land there, they know what to do with you. They know your record. Your record follows you where you go. Capitalists, superior people with the high IQ, intelligent, civilized people, right? The people that know everything, that's done everything, and discovered everything. So the excuse me, y'all. Let me give myself a glass of water here. I don't know why my voice is so scratchy. It's dry, but it's okay. I drink my water here. See, I'm drinking it out of a paper carton. That helps, don't it? We sell water now, even though water is free. They commodify everything. Everything is commodity to be sold. Sold. When it's free, though, Mother Nature gives it to it free. But we know the capitalists appropriate it and sell for profit. I'm so sorry for coughing like this. I don't know why my voice is. Anyways, get back to the point. So now the developed nations, the dominators, the settler colonialists, the invaders prefer profit over people, the capitalists, okay? And so now that the developing people are not willing to be slaves and to be exploited for the wealth to support these white nations, these wealthy nations, which are basically white nations, because they're the what do you call it, xenophobia, violent pirates that went all over the world, colonizing everybody, and then also introducing imperialism. So, and you have black people that help them out always, as you might have seen in the what you call it, Woman King, the Dahomey, how they help in the slave trade. They willingly help. You always have willing people to help out in something evil and devious, because they think they're gonna get a good cut of the deal, but actually they didn't get a bad cut. They got a small cut on the deal. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get what they expected, right? Go there now. We see what it looked like. All right. So what? So what? So what I'm trying to say. So now, yeah. So now, all this pollution's coming, and all this hurricanes and floods coming into the developing world. It doesn't affect the developed world as much, but it's coming. It's making its way around. But so, in the meantime, in the between time, what should they do? What should be done? But in my opinion, what should be done, the solution would be for the developing world, quote unquote, those neo-colonial states, meaning that they're no longer formally colonized like England, Britain, European countries come in there and steal the land and set up their own government and educational system. They do it through a neo-colonialism. Neo-colonialism in a nutshell means they use black puppets. They're behind all the economic, political strings. They're pulling it, but they got a black puppet up there who's corrupt, and he gets blamed for everything. See, all those African leaders are over there, they're so corrupt, everything like that. But we know who's behind, making things go. And some of them are very willing to do it because they've been educated in European universities and stuff. So they are white identified. They don't identify with their people. They have internalized this racism, white supremacy, capitalist system. And they probably, they're really ashamed of being black. They don't want to be black. They want to be white. They identify with them. Most of them marry white women and vice versa, white men. And they just really hate black people. They hate themselves. When they look in the mirror, they don't like their features. They hate themselves. They wear bleaching cream, blonde wigs, weaves, all kind of stuff, because they want to be a part of the ruling class, which is the bourgeoisie. So they will do anything to black people to get that white card, so they can be a part of Team White, so they can get a part of that wealth. They don't care about the collective, their peoples, or the collective planet, or the animals, their tribe, their nation, their people, and the non-human people, the animals, the beautiful animals, and the earth itself. All everybody just care about is profit, money. Now, how much can you spend? You got $1 billion, $2 billion, $20 billion. How much more do you need? You can't take it with you. So these people are hoarding all the resources from the collective. That is a crime. That is a terrible crime. I don't care what color you are. Now, the black billionaires are very few, and they want to imitate white people because white is right. So that's the system we have, but that's not the only system. There's other options. We can have socialism, scientific socialism, where everybody can eat and share in the bounty of the earth. You don't have to just have a couple people hoarding up everything and exploiting everybody. So anyways, let me get to the point. So I think the solution would be for the countries like the African continent with the various countries, because those countries were divided up on the Berlin Conference. I think it was in 1886 or 1883, where France, Germany, and everything, they started making Belgium, Congo, and this South Africa. They cut it all up. So those false boundaries were not even there. They created them. So, when I say Africa, I mean the whole African continent and the countries, the 54 countries that were divided up by the European during the Belgium Conference. Look that up. I think it's like in or 1889 or 1883. I'm sorry, my date's screwed up. Any day, what they need to do is get some balls. You know what I'm saying? And say, no, you're not getting our resources. You're not getting our gold, our diamonds, plutonium, cobalt, fuel, until we make an arrangement that we're not going to use this. We're going to have alternative energy sources like solar energy, just like the state of Texas. They don't need to be charging us all this money for solar, for fuel and air conditioning when you can get the thing from solar. But they're going to make you pay. No, we shouldn't have to pay. The people have built the nation from the laborers. My people have built this country, okay? From slavery, from enforced labor. And a lot of people say, well, they made you do it. No, they came and got us because we were rice growers. We were builders, indigo, all kinds of things. Lawyers and doctors and steel makers, okay? They didn't come get no dummies now. I don't care what the history books have told you, the European history books, because they have to make us inferior, paint us as inferior to justify the treatment and the murder, the robbery, the looting of our labor, and the killing and murdering us to justify their lifestyle. That's why today they try to use all those stereotypes saying we're criminals. And many of us do, some of us do, a very small percentage do go to criminal means, because if you're not, they don't employ you, you know, you're starving you out, what you gonna do? They're stealing all your resources. They leave you, force you to be a criminal. But we know who the biggest criminal. You can't be no bigger criminal than stealing the whole continents, and continents going around enslaving people and murdering people. How much bigger a criminal that is? Yo-ho! Can you tell me, please? Oh, okay. So anyways, they just need to stop making their resources available to the dominators, you know, and act like they got some sense. Tell them to stop. You can't have no resources until you act like you got some sense. And stop, you know, we're going to have to find alternatives. And just like over there, you know, a lot of times they go dig all the gold over in Ghana, and the Chinese are causing so much pollution and creating a havoc for the people there. Same thing in Nigeria, the shell companies making all that pollution on the coastline and stuff. You know, it's just horrible what these people do. They don't care about nothing but profit. So that brings me around to, you know, being a vegan. Compassionate capitalism, compassionate veganism, because veganism, as we know it, is all about consumption. They make all these products, more and more products, is fake meat made out of, you know, soybean and basically canola oil, and fake meats and stuff like that. You know, and you know, soybeans is, you know, they don't take up a lot of land space to feed cattle, to make more meat and make people desire more meat all over the world. So actually being vegan is not saving the planet, and it's not making these companies go broke. A lot of the vegan companies are owned by meat-eating companies, like Haagen-Dazs, the ice cream company, and a bunch of them. Look it up. But that's not, I'm not saying that veganism is not good. Being plant-based is very excellent good. Being a fruitarian is very excellent good. As an individual, you can do that for your health, but it's not going to save the planet, because these big capitalist corporations are polluting at such a high rate. The little stuff that we do don't even make a difference. We're at the point now, we have 2.5, move on 1.5, let me see, 1.2 degrees Celsius. If you move to 1.5, boy, it's going to be so horrible. You already see the effects of it, you know, the planet getting so hot in the summertime and all these hurricanes and floods. You can imagine when it gets to 1.5 degrees. Because if it gets to 2.5, it's going to be like the science fiction show. Noah's Ark, baby. Okay, so basically, all right. I think I've said enough. So there's no such thing as compassionate capitalism. That's all a big fraud. You said, you know, put the cow on the pasture and grow him up and kill him kindly. How you kill something kindly? Slit their neck, or you know what I'm saying? So everybody, go plant-based if you can. I mean, if you like to, you know, I'm not making you do that. I do, because I feel like, you know, it's made me healthier. I have less degenerative diseases so far at my age. As far as you stop you from breaking your knee, it's not going to help you that way. But but the doctor said they don't have to do surgery on me. He said, "You're lucky. You're lucky we don't have to do surgery." And that's because I've been eating those strong fruits and all the protein from the chia seeds and hemp seeds and what else? Like kale and collard greens, mustard greens, black eyed peas, pinto beans. I don't eat a lot of it, just a little bit, but over time, just a little bit. I try to get my vegetables, lots of fruit. Every now and then slip in a little spinach, a little bit of black eyed peas. Stay away from the bread stuff, like all kinds of breads, all that wheat stuff. And, like I said, I've been doing on this journey for 40 some years. So I know how to make all the black bean burgers, all the pinto bean burger, oat burgers and stuff. You don't have to buy none of those fake burgers. And I know that I was telling myself, we didn't even have this stuff. Why are you buying this stuff, Linda? You've been around when none of this stuff was around. When we was sitting around making burgers out of beans and burgers out of spinach, burgers out of broccoli, burgers out of whatever. And you can do the same thing, just as I substituted with vegetables or fruits, any kind of fruit, make beet burgers and everything else. I guess it's just being lazy. Sometimes you just don't want to cook. Try to find an easy way out. Easy way out is not always the best way out, is it? No. With all that, soybean and oil and grease in there in the laboratory, that's some scary stuff, huh? And 5 years from now, they're going to tell us, well, did you know if you ate one of those burgers that something weird going to happen? But I'm not going to take up your time. I just wanted to let y'all know that there is a solution to all this. It sounds doom and gloom and everything, but there's a solution. It's the solution, like I said before, is for the developing nations to stop the West. The West, the modern people, the West would be the settler colonial states and Europeans, Eurocentric, and those who want to, and their junior partners, those who want to be like them and get their little white cards so they can go around exploiting people and looking down on people and saying, I'm smarter than you, you're dumb, you need to work harder, you're lazy. After all, my ancestors worked hard and built the whole foundation of America off their blood and sweat and tears for free. So what it is that everybody can give us reparations. Africa can give us reparations, like the Dahomey people give us some free land, y'all. And then the United States, you owe us about $100 trillion. You can give us our money. We'd be cool, right? So we can build our own nation, be independent. Independent. That's something to think about. Because everybody, is anti-black, so they don't really want us around only to exploit us and copy us and, brutalize us. The only reason they have or come around black people, or whatever I don't know, people don't like black people. I would say black people, y'all know who I'm talking about, is to use us. They see something like, to come around, like to leech off us, to use us, to learn something so they can make a commodity out of it and then sell it back to us. So the solution is for us to work collectively as one, helping each other. I don't care if you're in a public housing and you're a single parent mother, get together with the other single parent mothers and y'all help each other and pool your resources together and read to your children and get politically educated and read political books. Not about the Democrats and Republicans, because neither one of them are going to help you. It's the same bird with two different one wing. One wing is a Democrat, one wing is a Republican. They're all the same bird flying the same way. Your complete total destruction to be exploited and the surplus used to uplift them. And then you got the junior partners that want to be a part of that team, and that would be like your Candace Owens and that would be like your Kanye's, okay? And those people who think like that. So we need to work collectively, right? As workers, as proletariats, as descendants of slaves, as the Aboriginal people of this land, that people have taken all these resources from us, and even the ones that say, "Well, I wasn't here. I came. My grandparents came in 1912, and we weren't here. We didn't have any slavery. I didn't own no slave." But that's just like somebody coming in your house, robbing you and putting you in the basement and make you do all the work and beating you and raping your wife and killing your kids and cutting off toes. And then their cousins show up maybe about 10 years later, he said, yeah, come on in. You know, they didn't actually do the beating and the robbing, but they sit down at the table enjoying all the good food, huh? So you in on it too, because you knew when you came to America what was going on. Genocide, looting, slavery, killing and murder of the Aboriginal black people, and all treacherous things, but you didn't have a problem with it. Your ancestors did not have a problem with it. So don't give me that lie. You ain't had nothing to do. And what's the other thing about it? Everywhere there's slavery. Slavery was everywhere. Yeah, there was slavery everywhere, but this slavery here in the Western Hemisphere in the New World was chattel slavery. Chattel, like property. There was no type of slavery as that, where people were considered a horse or a table, or where their children could be taken away from them. Women could be raped by anybody, any white man at any time, and anything. And see, even the men were raped. So it's nothing like this in the whole entire world, the whole universe. So America will have to pay the price, because karma is real, buddy. You're going to have to pay the price for what you did to our people. You see what your domination has done is transferred over into the domination of animals, killing of all kind of species of fish, elephant, rhinoceros, beautiful birds and everything, because of your greed and because of your anti-blackness that's embedded in you from being in the caves of Europe for 13,000 years. Now that's another story we'll get into later. But I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm just a truth teller. And everybody don't like the truth in America. People in America like to stay happy and have fun and drink and enjoy themselves. There's nothing wrong with that, but not at my expense, okay? Not at my expense, okay? So that's what I'm going to round it up to say. No matter what, enjoy your life. No matter what happens, enjoy your life. Just like I tell you this truth, don't feel bad about it. Just keep your head up and enjoy your life, okay? Yeah. You're a vegan goddess, more holistic. Let's work holistically. Work together, people. Work together collectively. Each one teach one, each one help one. Get rid of your ego. We're not in competition. This competition thing is caused by capitalism. They want us to be competing against each other. They want us to be fighting each other. They put it in the propaganda, in their history books, in their educational system, in their psychological system, in the law system. It's all woven through, baked into this system, this anti-blackness and domination of all things black. Or as you say, melanated. We could just black, because y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, it's not by accident that we have, food apartheid, that, supermarket redlining, where they don't set up good supermarkets in black neighborhoods because they say they don't make a profit from it, but they send all the good supermarkets out into the suburbs where all the settler colonialists live. That's not by accident. It's to starve us out. They do everything intentional. It's not by accident. And they say, unconsciously, I didn't know. It's conscious. It's deliberate. It's conscious, deliberate, it's planned. Okay? So I'm telling you to educate yourself. Political books. You could say the Nkrumah's book, the military, I forgot it. Revolutionary Warfare. Read that book. Destruction of the Black Civilization. Black Marxism. Capitalism or Capital by Karl Marx. Even though he's European, he didn't discover socialism. It's just like he just recorded it, like any scientist would do. Gravity, the ball falls down. Yeah, so you record it. That's all he did. He didn't discover nothing. And socialism is not a European idea, because we have philosophers from Kemet is older than time itself, and the Greeks came there and learned from them. So don't tell me nothing about, socialism being Eurocentric. It's not, okay? So what else can I say? So, so once you educate yourself and your children, real education, not the stuff you're going to get on TV and the stuff they teach you in the school, because that's a part of the state to keep you dummied down and keep you controlled and punished. So you don't want to do that. You want to get alternative news, revolutionary books. They there. Go look them up. I just named a few of them. I'm trying to think of white skin, black skin, white mask, by Frantz Fanon, any Frantz Fanon books, Kwame Nkrumah's books, uh, Du Bois books. It's a lot of books that can help enlighten you. You have to educate yourself. You can't rely on the system to educate you because they want to keep you enslaved, keep you confused, so they can continue to deceive you and exploit you and make money off of you, dead or alive. Okay, because alive, they're feeding you fast foods and having a food swamp of neighborhoods full of McDonald's, fast foods, convenient foods full of SOS, salt, sugar, and what is it? Salt, oil, and sugar. They make sure that stuff don't get there by accident. When you go out into the white neighborhoods, they got all that good food over there. You know, if they say they do to it, they don't eat it all up. Most of it goes to waste. Like at these health stores and all these places that they have, all this food available to them, you know what they do with it? They throw it away. They throw it away. So what is that telling you? That's food warfare. They want you to starve. Because when you have all this bad food, it's going to affect your child's intelligence. You're not going to be as alert. Your bones don't grow as fast. This is that and the other. Because they don't want to see you develop, because any type of success that you have enrages them. Read the book White Rage. That'll explain it. Read that book. Study that book. The sister goes down into it now. You see, what they want to see you is in a burlap sack for clothes, no shoes, and living in a shack, okay? And begging them. And them having complete control over you. Now, a lot of people will say, well, that's not true. That's not all. That's the vast majority. And the ones that don't believe in that, you don't hear nothing from them, okay? They ain't trying to stop it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? So this is just to, open your eyes up to what's going on here. I know it's hard sometimes to eat healthy when your money ain't right. And if you're living in a supermarket red line where the major grocery stores don't want to come in there and provide food. So the solution to that, maybe we need to have farmers markets at the bus stops, have a government-run grocery stores, gardening, herbal gardening. I mean, all kind of vegetable and fruit gardening, planting of trees in the urban areas and cities, and learn farming. Because remember, at one time, at the turn of the century after slavery, we were the best farmers in the country. Everybody depended on our skills. And now what? Okay, but we can get those skills back. It's through reading and studying and sharing information. Okay, that's all I got to say for today. I hope you guys are lifted up. Don't feel sad. It looks bleak. It looks kind of scary. But guess what? The sun's going to shine another day. Amen Ra. Just be happy and enjoy your life. Say your prayers. And, some people may not be religious or not, but to me, I say my prayers, work real hard, and use your imagination. And just get to work and don't worry about it. Work together collectively. Organize, organize, get yourself together as a collective, educate, read the different books, and analyze, and exchange ideas, come up with a solution, and then mobilize. Mobilize meaning that we're gonna take control of our lives. We're gonna have an independent life away from these capitalists, from these elites who are leeches. And anytime you see a capitalist, you see a bloodsucker. That's what Malcolm X says, okay? Give me a thumbs up, share. And, right now I'm in transit, so I can't really show you any recipes because I don't have access. I got stove and stuff here, but my knee is broken and I can't get to the stove to show you how to cook stuff. So I've been eating all raw, and grapes, apples, bananas, what else? Little kiwi and mushrooms, stir fries, water, and some probiotic water, probiotic drink. Like I said, I got some comfrey and some comfrey ointment coming in the mail, the herbal stuff to help me. And I've been using the herbal CKLS to keep my bowels movement, because when you take some of these allopathic, traditional medicines, they kind of messed up your colon. I mean, as far as your releasing system. What do you call it? Removal system. Your number two. Okay? So people, I'm glad that you're here with me. And like I said, keep your head up. No matter what, enjoy life. Plant-based as much as you can, any way you can, however you can. Work together, work as collective. Stop being mad at each other, because all these frustrations and envy and jealousy and not having enough and being desperate and running like a rat race is because of capitalism. They control the means of production, and they make wage slaves out of us. And it's done purposely so they can extract all the wealth out of the people. Without the masses of the people, the collective, they can't become billionaires and rule over us and dominate us with all these false morals, how moral they are, how righteous they are, and they're so conservative, and they're so against this and so against that, and they're the very ones who killing us. Don't listen to them. They're lying to you. They ain't telling the truth. If you don't believe me, you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner or lunch or breakfast. Get my fruity tooties, okay? But, like I said, do your research. Look it up. Yeah, I've been working on my book here, and soon it'll be done, and then I'll have it ready for you to buy. So I'm still working on it. It's coming along pretty good. And I thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to try to tune in more often with new news and try to get this together. So, one last thing. I went to the Exit Summit. Oh, God, it was so great. Beautiful, beautiful, smart, intelligent black women sharing lots of great information about freelancing and Airbnbs and insurances and stocks and what like that. In the meantime, in between time, we know that capitalism must be abolished and replaced with scientific socialism, but it's not going to be. It's going to have to be a transition. So in the meantime, in between time, we got to get our monies right and hold on to what resources we do have and pull them together and work together as teams. You can team of 3, you and your husband and your children and your family and your neighbors, whatever the team may be. Work together and stop being envious of each other and trying to compete against each other and trying to have one up on, I got this and I got that. Quit trying to compare yourself to each other. It just causes a bunch of envy and jealousy, and it's all for nothing. It's all created by the capitalists. What you desire, your wants, is psychologically created through propaganda. It's not even your own desires, okay? So anyways, I think Kanye West and what's her name? What is that girl's name? Candace Owens they want to belong to the bourgeoisie class, and they will sell their people out. They don't care. They are full of self-hate. They have mental issues. They're confused. And to them, this is the way out. And if you want to go down with them, go right ahead. But they don't care nothing about them. And the people that's using them, the dominators, they always break their tools. When they get done with them, they break them. They throw them and cast them away. Just like the Dahomey tribe that was selling all the Africans, they ended up turning around selling Africans to the Europeans, the Dahomey people. The Europeans end up capturing them and selling them out, a lot of them. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it wasn't all of Africa that was involved in that. They just emphasize that because they want to take the blame off themselves. You know what I'm saying? They want to take the guilt and shame off themselves. See, you guys sold it to us, but can't nobody make you buy nothing. They came in there demanding. They found a weak link, and the Dahomey was the weak link. You could always find a weak link somewhere. Everybody got a price. Please believe me. Ask Kanye and ask Candace Owens. They'll tell you. They'll sell you. They're the Dahomey of the day. They'll sell you down the river in a minute. Pretend like they like you. Pretend like they like you and got your best interest. Now, you know that's not true. Okay? They mix a little truth with fiction. fiction and nonfiction. They mix it together. So it comes out sounding like it's, they're not so bad. They're pretty smart. It's a genius. Yeah, right. Well, folks, that's my opinion only. So I could be wrong. I could be right. So in the meantime, in between time, work collectively, educate yourself and your children and your family and friends and neighborhood and community, organize, and mobilize to be independently free and liberated for justice against this horrible capitalist, racist, white supremacist system that grinds us to dust. We have no friends. Okay? So, with that said, keep your head up. Remember to enjoy life no matter what. No matter what's coming down the pipe. If you got a broken knee, just have a happy spirit. We keep our souls. Keep your soul in balance. Just I say, like money, sometimes money and fame make people sell their soul. They just sell their soul. Start out pretty good. Then they sell their soul. They get that money in their hand. Then their soul's gone. They just all for the material. And I'm not saying material things is not important. Don't get me wrong. We shouldn't be broke, down and out. But the reason we are broken down and out is because of the system we live under. And some people say we don't have a system. And I would say to those individuals, would you please define capitalism for me, please? Is that not a system? Okay, right? And all this pull yourself up by your bootstrap and get an education and work harder and go find a job, all that stuff. That's a bunch of crap, okay? That's a bunch of bullshit. So who's owning the place where you're going to get a job at controls your wage and everything like that. And you hear somebody say there ain't no system. All you got to do is get your education and get you a job and go get a job and pull yourself up. Really, that's capitalism. That's making you be a wage slave. How about if the masses of the workers take back realize their power and take back the means of production? No, you can't have our resources. You can't have our gold, our diamonds, our labor. You can't have it. You're destroying the planet. Okay, I'm wrapping this up, but I keep going back over it. But I love you, family. I guess, that's one human being to another. And I just want you to think about what I said. If you agree, fine. If you have comments, leave them below. Share, give me a like. And, I'll let you in on my progress as far as my book's coming along and how my leg is doing. And when I get the comfrey in the mail, I'll tell you how fast I'm going to be healed. They said it's going to take me about 6 weeks. It's been a week. I haven't got the comfrey. I should get it sometime this week. I can rub it on here where I feel. Once I broke my leg, I was up again in my easy chair. I got up. And I was moving a little bit too fast, and I decided I needed to get the dog some water. Once again, my dog. And I went and slipped again and banged my hand on the kitchen floor, bumped my head a little bit, but it didn't hurt. But I managed to get up, so now I just take my time. So now my son is taking care of my dog, Anubis. He doing all right. He don't know that he did that. And then I said, maybe he did know he did that. Well, anyways, everybody, keep your head up. No need to be depressed. Remember. You have to thank God we're still alive. We got our health. And as far as us, we the miracle people. The people who are descendants of American slave system. We're the miracle people. We wasn't supposed to even be alive. Nobody would have ever made it through that. No one would have made it through that. And even those in the diaspora. I'm not excluding you. Love you too. So let's stop fighting each other because we all the same people. That's what they want us to do, divide and rule. That's why they make up all this propaganda. But anyway, it's like this. And then I'll leave. As far as us, the African ancestry, Aboriginal ancestry, we've been separated for 500 years, family. And when families get together, what do? They have some food and chumming it up. But then they argue too. That's part of being a part of the family. We argue. We have our disagreements, and envies and jealousy of one another, that's only normal. It's okay, but don't take it to the extreme. Let's take that envy and that jealousy and form a new nation that we all can eat. Nobody has to starve. Nobody has to go without food and shelter and clothes and joyfulness, the abundance of life that the Goddess has given us. No one particular person should have to hoard up all the resources. Just hoard it up for them and their little children and then give us a little donation to the nonprofit and, make it seem like they're a big, smart person and they did it all on their own. When they used the people to get all of that, I don't care who you name, they exploited people to get those $1 billion. And those black billionaires, they ain't that many of them. And they might have $1 or $2 billion, but who other the billionaires, they got $200 billion. They got peons compared to them. So, a lot of people into capitalism, go ahead. But like I said, you're going to have to exploit somebody. And if that's what you want to do, buy $100 million houses on the beach. A lot of people do that stuff. What is $100 million good for? How many rooms can you live in? You know what I'm saying? It's all to impress, to be in a certain status, to be accepted by the ruling class, the dominators. They just want acceptance. They want a pat on the head. Good boy, good girl. That's all they want. That's all they live for. A lot of black people they don't see that there's anything wrong with the system. They think it's fine. They don't see that it should be abolished. They just want a nice, better place in it. A nice, cozy spot in it, right up there with the massa, They don't care about destroying that system. They just want a better spot in the system, okay? But we're going to make a new world for the young children and the children yet unborn. They deserve to have a planet that's full of green, fruits and vegetables and trees and animals, beautiful animals. Why you want to take that from them? They deserve that. Don't you say that? That's all colors and kinds. Everybody, all children, the born, the young, and the unborn. They all deserve to have a planet where everybody can share. And no, it's not a utopia. I know they say that it never happened. That's the people that's so greedy, they want all the stuff for themselves. So they tell you a bunch of lies. Don't believe them. Untruths. We can y'all work for that. Anyway, stay tuned for more holistic. Keep your head up. Give me a thumbs up. Share. And read those books I suggested. Peace. But you're going to have to fight for it, like Fred Hampton says. Take care, family. Take care. Eat hearty foods. Get your water in. Get your walk in. And don't go chasing after your dog. Take my word for it.